Hey, welcome back. All right, so Pisces, let's take a quick peek at the topic of love, shall we? Pisces, what do we have for love? We got a Knight of Pentacles. This is slow moving, but this is the unicorn. You notice we've actually got him riding a unicorn. So, worth waiting for is the first thing that I would say. If there's a slow burning kind of interest or romance here, okay, so that's definitely what we got going on. We've got this King of Swords with this real soft look in his eyes. And this King of Swords is staring warmly and kind of wondering, perhaps, if he's getting the same vibes back. Pisces, is somebody making googly eyes at Pisces and they don't even know if the vibes that they're picking up are correct? Because this feels like Pisces shared a moment with this person, but they don't know if they're dreaming it, if it's an illusion. They don't know if this is the real deal. They don't know how Pisces feels about them. Ten of Cups in the reverse. It is definitely like, am I crazy? Or could this be something? Could this be something for real? Palace of Coins, the Hermit in the reverse. I feel like this is somebody who's like, I got to find out. I got to at least ask. I got to know. Pisces, do you feel some kind of feels about me? Do you feel some kind of way about me, or am I tripping? Because, oh, is that Vince and Nico? Am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Am I wrong? Yeah, we're trying to reach for things that we can't see. Okay, I'm feeling like that might be the appropriate soundtrack for this, but they kind of want to break silence and just ask, like, are you feeling something or not? Because I feel like we have somebody smitten with Pisces, but they do not know if Pisces looks for them, if Pisces thinks about them. They're pretty much talking themselves out of this, but they kind of got to know. Either they're hoping Pisces will say something or they need to bring this up. Now, the Palace of Coins is kind of like, you know, getting really grounded and needing to just have, I feel like needing to have a substantial conversation. Aries, hi, sweetheart. Good night, honey. Bell, great to see you. We have the Faith card, Taurus energy. I definitely feel like this person is all up in their head. And as a King of Swords, that would make sense. They could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This person could be bald, doesn't have to be. They may have blue eyes, or they may just have like really piercing eyes, but they've got a way about them that comes across as somebody who they have made eye contact with Pisces. They thought there was, that little vibe. They're praying, hoping that there was a vibe, but they really are thinking that they might have been wrong about it. Let's move over to Pisces for just a second and say, Pisces, does Pisces have something to say in response? Is Pisces feeling some kind of way? King of Pentacles. Well, Pisces is coming across like either I'm interested in a King of Pentacles or Ace of Pentacles sideways. Pisces doesn't know if they're going to have a new beginning with somebody else. Okay, so hang on, how does Pisces feel just about the King of Swords? Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Pisces is like, I don't know about the King of Swords being a player in the big scheme of my realm. So Pisces has somebody else entirely on their mind. Someone that they either don't know if they're going to have a new beginning with, or they don't know this. It's like Pisces has their heart set on someone else. I mean, this could even be Pisces has a crush on somebody that they work with, and they're like, oh, I think about this masculine, this feminine, whomever. It doesn't have to be a masculine, but we have a king. So, I like my boss, or I'm attracted to this other person, the guy who works at the vineyard, the someone else in my community. I'm interested in them. I just don't know what's going on with them. So what do you mean, King of Swords? I don't know anything about a King of Swords. So this actually feels like, no wonder the King of Swords is like, am I tripping? It's because I'm I'm thinking this is an illusion. I don't think Pisces notices me. Oh, but I like the King of Swords, Pisces. I want Pisces to notice the King of Swords. I because I feel like they have some real thoughts. Six of Wands, they think the world of Pisces. This King of Swords thinks the world of Pisces. They think Pisces is very intuitive. They think Pisces is talented. They think Pisces is well respected. What's the King of Pentacles thinking about Pisces? Well, the King of Pentacles comes across as a Two of Cups. Okay. So the King of Pentacles, so they could be an earth sign, right? A Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but they seem to be the one on the forefront of Pisces' mind. And it looks like now we understand why, because there's a pretty solid bond there. But why is it that Pisces says, I don't know what's going on with us, with that Ace of Pentacles sideways? Four of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Wands. It doesn't feel like Pisces has a whole lot of trust in long-term success. It's like Pisces says, I think that we're having a new beginning and we're talking about forever. And I could see me like really committing to this King of Pentacles. But on the other hand, down the road in the future, do I have a weird suspicion that they might be someone who could either make me cry, or that they could be somebody that maybe is going to be scattered? This is a big difference. This is totally stable. This is totally unstable. And it's like, oh, well, we're committing to stability, but I think down the road in the future, I could picture them becoming unstable. That's weird to see that this is the person right now that Pisces seems to be putting all their eggs in this basket, to the extent where they don't even notice the King of Pentacles, or excuse me, the King of Swords. So interesting. So somebody that is on Pisces' mind is not the only one thinking about Pisces. King of Pentacles. Let's just ask, since Pisces says, oh, well, I think that they're a really important person, they also think Pisces is their Two of Cups. But why is it that Pisces thinks over time you're not going to be stable and trustworthy, even though here you are a King of Pentacles? Hermit sideways, because sometimes they do check out. This King of Pentacles, that could be a Virgo, by the way, they sometimes withdraw. They know that they do that. Chariot, and that came out sideways too. They sometimes do change course. This is somebody who, I don't know why they would withdraw sometimes, but they are not really that consistent. Even they admit that. Not that it's like, oh, well, I'm just flaky and I don't know what I want, but more like this person goes into like deep philosophical thought processes and kind of like withdraws. Seven of Wands. It feels like they're very cerebral, and maybe they, okay, I'm about to say something rude about this King of Pentacles, and so forgive me, but this feels like somebody who's like, they get a little over the top with, I'm even going to say self-importance. Like, well, there's all these things that I have to, fight for these causes, and I have to go get educated on this. And then, maybe the thing that's not as important is a personal relationship. Maybe instead, I don't know, it just feels like this person could be kind of tedious to be around, because they start to withdraw sometimes and start thinking, well, I think about the bigger picture and the struggles of, whatever, like the spiritual mortality of mankind. And it's like, yeah. You can be super deep, super profound, but if you're checking out on your mate and withdrawing because all of a sudden you're consumed with all these bigger philosophical ponderings, I don't know. I could see that getting to be kind of old. I know I'm being super rude right now. It's like, oh, shouldn't I celebrate? This person has great intellect. At what cost, though? If they're such a super brain, but then they can check out and leave, like withdraw from being a real partner because they get so full of the self-importance of their philosophical meanderings. I don't know. I could see that person annoying the hell out of me, because it's like, look, it'd be great if we could all just check out and whenever we felt like it. But unfortunately, like with real life and, struggling with the people that you're, doing day-to-day stuff with, making food, putting food on the table. Like, that's the good fight to fight. But just to check out and go on this philosophical meandering whenever you want, I don't know. I don't really appreciate that very much. I feel like this person's giving themselves a pass, but then also kind of has like a holier than thou attitude. Sorry. I know that's a super critical judgment call, but these are the cards we got, right? So I was saying, why would it be that Pisces is like, oh, even though I am trying to be in this together forever kind of relationship with a King of Pentacles, I'm asking, but why is it that you'd still see that over time they might be wishy-washy? And even they're like, oh, because I might get super philosophical and withdraw. And, I do that sometimes to then think about all these other struggles and arguments and fights that are, I don't know. I don't love the fact that they kind of already give themselves this pass for later on because, hey, that's how I am. I get busy thinking about bigger, I don't know, this person could be theatrical. There, that's it. I'll leave that there. That's enough. But it just feels like for this fictional story, and please remember they are fictional, this Pisces seems to be dealing with somebody who we could be really, really, really gracious and say they're complicated. Or I could be the real version of me that's blunt and be like, this person needs to get out of their own way, get over themselves a little bit, and either commit to being full-blown partner so they don't lose their amazing Pisces. Otherwise, I hope Pisces is fair game for this hottie. That's my sass pants on that topic. Okay. I just want Pisces to be loved. I want them to get some good loving from somebody that is adoring of them. We have got the 9 of Pentacles sideways as we go back over to talk to that king. And you notice he's like, man, I could see, I love his dedication. He's got this opinion of Pisces. I mean, he's over here going, I really want to talk to Pisces directly and just ask, are you with somebody else? Is there any chance for us? I'm hoping, praying. Pisces says yes, but I think I might be tricking myself. So he doesn't like illusions. And I like that about him too. He's honest, he's straightforward. He really likes Pisces, but he's also reading the room pretty good. It's, it's also like kind of like taking away some of his personal, empowerment, because I think he knows he's pining for a Pisces that's got their eyes glued on somebody else. Emperor, he's a freaking emperor. I'm sorry, I like this King of Swords. He's not got an ego that gets in his own way. He's able to go ahead and put himself on the line and be like, listen, I'm interested, but I understand if your heart is someplace else, I'm not going to try to, do a song and dance to get you to look at me and hope that you're going to break up with somebody else. He's big enough to own how he feels. He's also big enough to, I think he has a lot to offer Pisces, but he's not going to put himself in a situation where he's pining for somebody that isn't interested in him. But he wants to be told that, okay, if you're not interested in me, then I can, move on and I'll let you go. We've got this 3 of Wands. There is some kind of energy of he's not going to try putting in effort if Pisces doesn't want him, but he's also, look, he's an emperor. Emperors know things change, life changes. He still is always going to have a good opinion of this Pisces. So who knows? On down the road, you never know. But he doesn't want to sit around and waste his time pining for a Pisces that maybe is not, emotionally available. He knows he's looking for happiness. 10 of Cups. I do think he'd love to have that happiness with Pisces, and he sees it as a real possibility, but he's going to have to ask Pisces point blank. If you're in over your head with somebody else and that's where you're going to stay, just let me know so I don't hold space for you. When is he talking to Pisces? Because I feel like, again, Pisces seems to be unaware that this King of Swords has this emotion. I said, when is he going to talk to Pisces? And it kind of says, if Pisces ever gives him an opportunity. I don't know if these two communicate somehow, if maybe Pisces has been flirtatious with him in some way, either unwittingly or mildly intentionally. If there is any kind of lighthearted flirtation, he may want clarity on Are you flirting with me, or is it just how you are? Are you with somebody, or are you single? Which is it? I think he's going to kind of hold Pisces to a straightforward, you know, what is it that you are thinking about here? He's definitely going to make his own intentions known, and he is manifesting having this opportunity. This isn't him like, hey, don't play with my emotions, Pisces. No, I think he is manifesting an opportunity to talk to Pisces. I keep feeling like somehow, some way he crosses paths with Pisces, but he is manifesting the opportunity. So I don't know if this is like through business. I don't know if this is like Pisces is going to have to call him back or have to, do some kind of business with him. But he is definitely creating this moment, this opportunity. How is Pisces going to feel to hear from this King of Pentacles that, or excuse me, King of Swords that, I'm interested, Pisces? Queen of Pentacles. That's crazy because it seems like Pisces is going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm actually a Queen of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles. I'm in some other relationship. But it's funny because I think Pisces is going to have a weird little quiver of like stress over saying that. Like I'm with this other person, and then it's weird because it's followed up with this little jolt of stress. Nine of Swords, almost like that, or Pisces will see the flicker on that King of Swords face, like, oh, that's too bad. It's one or the other. I don't know. Ten of Cups. Look, I think Pisces is going to follow their heart wherever they need to go because they want to have a Ten of Cups. But we do have the Two of Wands. This King of Swords is a disruptor on one hand. They are somebody that is going to become, I don't want to say it like as a second pathway or a second option, because nobody is an option, right? We choose what we actually authentically want. But if Pisces was like, oh, all of my energy is being focused toward the King of Pentacles, I'm going to be their Queen of Pentacles. This just says Pisces had never considered that maybe there was another timeline or future. And this moment of having this very attractive King of Swords express interest could be both a shocker for Pisces, but could also be something that maybe they've needed to recognize that Pisces, there's more fish in the sea. And we choose the path that we must choose for who we are, but who we are changes and evolves over time. So this is not to say, oh, well, Pisces' relationship with the King of Pentacles is doomed, so someday they'll be in the arms of the King of Swords. It's not to say that, but it is just to remind Pisces that Pisces should be advocating for what they authentically want, the partnership that they authentically want, whatever's going to make them happiest, of course, but happy, healthy, good choices for themselves. But it's also nice to see that the underlying message here is for Pisces to not forget that there are other fish in the sea. There are other people attracted to Pisces. Pisces is not, if Pisces chooses to be with that King of Pentacles, that'll be because Pisces wants to be with them, not because there's a lack of options of other opportunities. And I just think that that's an important side note in this storyline for whatever reason. Maybe it's just a shot of self-esteem to remind Pisces that, there's other people that would love a chance with you, Pisces. Or maybe it's because this is a little hint that there is another timeline for this Pisces, should they want to make a change at some point in their life. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you for being here. Good to see everybody. Ian Bell, thank you again. And RS, thank you, love. Nora A, wonderful to see you. Hi, Beth Ross. Unapologetically you, great to see you. Hi, Gigi. And Marty Rescue, thank you for being here, everyone. It is my pleasure. Ian Bell, right back to you. Nikki O, hi, babe. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.